interest in serving as a county court judge. If you could start by introducing yourself, tell us about your background, experience, and qualifications for judicial office.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, let me just say thank you. I know that a lot of time and effort goes into vetting us for these applications. I just want to say thank you to start. A little bit about myself. I am a Volusia County resident. I grew up here. I've been here for almost 40 years. This is my hometown. I went to high school here. I have so many friends and business associates who work here. Excuse me. Being able to potentially be a judge here would be such an honor. A little bit about myself professionally. Currently, I'm the Domestic Violence Division Chief in Seminole County. As part of that, I handle every single felony case that comes into our office. That is domestic violence. I supervise the attorneys under me. I make filing decisions every day and have to have sometimes very difficult conversations with people about whether or not we can go forward with charges, whether we can't, and why. Prior to being division chief, I was our repeat domestic violence prosecutor. As part of that, I was in front of every single county and circuit judge at the same time. So in that role, I was able to develop certain skills that I think would be very helpful for the county bench. Part of that is the time management that goes into it because you're in front of everybody at the same time, and it gives me kind of a snapshot of what our private defense attorneys deal with on a everyday basis. I have been in a number of different roles throughout my career, that whether it's helping with time management, whether it's having difficult conversations with people, I think that those are skills that would be really beneficial to the county bench.
What do you think makes somebody a good judge?
First and foremost, I think it would be temperament. Having someone who is even-keeled, that's on the bench, who may be dealing with either new attorneys or even pro se litigants, excuse me, I think is very important. Secondly, it would have to be docket management and being able to move your cases along and do that in a way where everyone is heard, but also is able to relay their positions to the court. Being able to move cases along is very important, whether it's criminal or civil. Obviously, there's a backlog because of COVID and all of that with civil, but that would probably be the second thing I think would be the most important as part of the judge. And then lastly, would have to be ruling based on the law as written.
Why just county court and not circuit court also?
So I think we good at either. As part of my judicial aspirations, I spoke with a number of different people, and part of that conversation was, based on my skill set, what's the best place for me? I didn't want to just apply and hope for the best on whether it would say, let's put her for county or let's put her for circuit. I very much want to be a county court judge, which is why I only apply for county. I think it's important to have judges on the bench that have an even-keeled temperament and are able to effectively administer justice. For me, county, I think, is the best fit, and I know when I spoke with my friends who are judges and other lawyers, while we're all confident I could do either, it is I think my temperament would be best suited in county court.
You were at the state attorney's office in February of 18, you left, then you're in private practice for just a couple months. What caused you to leave the state and then come back? What was going on?
So when I first started, prior to ever going to law school, I worked in a law firm that was personal injury. That was actually what prompted me to want to be a lawyer. My intention when I got out was to go to civil practice and do personal injury. When I left the state attorney's office, I wanted to experience different things. When I was an intern, I fell in love with prosecution, which is why I went there first. But in 2018, I wanted to have more experience, and I went civil. That firm was PIP litigation, so it probably was not the best fit for me from a civil perspective. But I wanted to just throw my wings and try it.
What do you think your biggest strength is as a candidate?
I think it's a couple of things. My biggest strength would have to be that I have a lot of different contacts with community. I have the ability to talk to people on an everyday level, whether you're lawyers, law enforcement, pro se. I have that gift to be able to do that, and part of that is from the roles that I've had in my positions where I'm having conversations with people every day about the law and what that means for them specifically, whether that's that we can file charges or that we can't, if it's law enforcement, why we're able to do something or not do something, or why something is going to be suppressed or why we believe it would be suppressed, and that's why we're not going forward with charges. I think that skill set of being able to have those very real conversations with people every day. So.
You've been practicing in Seminole, I know you live in Volusia, but what do you think would be your challenges for one acclimating to a different circuit that you're not used to, and then also for defending the seat?
I'm in that unenviable position where I live here and practice there. For me, being able to run here and retain a seat is something that I'm completely prepared for. When you ask what's the biggest challenge that I may have coming here, I think it's anybody that's going to be on the bench. It's going to be transitioning as a lawyer to a judge. I know that if you put my name through to the governor's office, you're not going to be disappointed. I have every intention of retaining the seat. Part of that plan goes into becoming very involved here in the legal community. I have a lot of contacts with business owners that would also be helpful for judicial campaign. I've spoken with numerous people and what that would look like. And by that I mean whether it's holding signs or donating money or campaigning on my behalf. I'm confident based on those conversations that I will be able to retain the seat.
As a county court judge, you may handle DUI cases. Can you tell me what the penalties are for a first-time DUI conviction?
So it's going to be a withhold, 6 months of probation, the substance abuse, it's a substance abuse class with the victim impact panel. There's a $500 fine, and I believe a 6 month deal.
As a candidate for judge, you must know the Florida Code of Judicial Conduct. Have you read that?
I have.
How many times have you read that?
Probably about 10.
Okay. And can you tell me which of those canons apply to you currently as a candidate for judicial office?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry. Yes. Number 7 applies to me.
Yeah.
I apologize. I hope that they all apply to me in the future, but currently only number 7 applies to me.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions?
So you don't have a ton of trial experience, but what do you feel like, are you confident that you can command and control a courtroom?
Yes.
Using that position, explain how.
So I have had probably, I want to say, 14 trials. I am currently slated to do a DV murder trial with our chief trial attorney. That should be coming up hopefully soon. Being in charge of a courtroom, I think part of that is having respect for the people in front of you, allowing them to feel like they've been heard, and then when it's time to make a ruling, make that ruling and stick to it. You can't provocate, you can't go back and forth, you can't make people think that you could potentially change what you're going to do based on whatever specific thing you're saying, unless they're presenting case law, something like that to you, that would be helpful.
Is there anything you want to highlight in closing?
I think for me, one of the things we haven't been able to talk about is in my role at the state attorney's office, I was able to do a number of different things. Part of that was, at one point I was doing the job of 2 different people. The time management skills that come with that I think are very important. Again, I know that I've said it, but having the temperament on the bench and being able to have the conversations that I do with people every day, I think would translate very well to the bench. We have so many different things in regards to judges and what we want to have on the bench. And I think that especially in county court, when you have people who may be representing themselves or maybe new attorneys, having someone who is even-keeled and has that type of